你打算不惜得罪偃月宗乃至整个九国盟，也要带我走吗？
是，既然我们下定决心要走，那杜绝后患之后再走吧。此番要对付的可是货真价实的元灵中期修士，出不得纰漏。
主人放心，银月保证完成任务。
The new elder of the Leyun sect, who reached the nascent soul stage in just over 200 years. How could I not know about him? Nangong Wan gave a soft snort. She lowered her head to look at the blue stone floor, a faint, playful smile appearing at the corner of her lips. Was it that Tang cultivator from the other day who told you? Hanli suddenly understood. You are not that slow, after all, Nangong Wan said with a light smile. Martial nephew Tang sent me a sound transmission talisman. When I learned that you had become a nascent soul cultivator, I truly could not believe it. After that, I had people investigate news about you from the time you joined the Luo Yun sect to the moment you left the trade fair. I even know that your concubine is still in Tiantian City. She gave Han Li a meaningful glance. Han Li awkwardly touched his nose. I originally told her to return to the sect first. Enough, Nangong Wan interrupted him. I am not blaming you for taking a concubine. After all, I am about to marry someone else myself. Han Li's expression immediately darkened. What exactly happened? Do you really want to marry him? Nangong Wan looked directly at him. Before I answer, I want to know why you came here this time. Did you only want to see me once, or did you come to stop this marriage? Of course I came to take you away. Han Li replied without hesitation. I want you to become my wife. Anyone who wants to take you from me will have to get past me first. Hearing this, Nangong Wan's face instantly flushed red. When did I ever agree to marry you? Han Li only smiled. After a long silence, Nangong Wan slowly said, Back then, during the blood-colored trial, after I lost my purity to you, I once wanted to kill you. I had kept myself pure for more than 100 years, yet in the end it was ruined by a chi refinement stage cultivator. How could I not hate you? Han Li did not know whether to laugh or cry, so I almost lost my life back then. That is right. If I had not softened my heart, you would have died long ago. She gave a soft sigh. But after I returned to the sect, I discovered that I could not forget you. Whether I was cultivating or in seclusion, your image kept appearing in my mind. I knew then that I had developed a heart demon. There were only two ways to resolve this heart demon, either marry you or kill you. At that time, the difference in our status and cultivation was far too great, so I once chose the second option. But then the Devil Dao invaded Yue Nation, and when I met you again, you had already become a Foundation Establishment cultivator. Hope began to rise in my heart once more. Nangong Wan smiled faintly. Later, when I heard that you might be in danger, I ignored everything and went back to look for you. Unfortunately, I was still one step too late. I did not know whether you were alive or dead, so I could only leave. She looked deeply at Han Li. The person named Nangong Ping back then was actually me in disguise. I once wanted to bring you back to the Yin Yue sect, help you form your core, and then marry you. Who would have thought that you would only accept the spirit stones and refuse to follow me? As she said this, she felt both annoyed and amused and glared at Han Li. Han Li could only smile bitterly. He had never known that if he had agreed to return to the Yin Yue sect with Nangong Wan back then, perhaps everything would have gone in a completely different direction. Nangong Wan sighed softly. After that, I returned to the sect, then secretly went back to Yue Nation to look for you once more. But all I heard was that you had been hunted by the Ghost Spirit sect, and that no one knew whether you were alive or dead. I thought you had passed away, so my heart demon gradually faded. Later, by a stroke of luck, I successfully reached the nascent soul stage and became an elder of the Yin Yue sect, all the way until today. As Han Li listened to her story, his gaze became even gentler. He had never imagined that over the years she had silently done so much for him. What about Wei Li Shen? Han Li asked. Nangong Wan smiled coldly. He is an elder of the Hua Yi sect, a sanctimonious hypocrite. On the surface he appears refined and graceful, but deep down he is extremely lustful. I heard that he has 7 or 8 women around him, and he secretly cultivates the evil art of Taiyin replenishing yang. I rejected him the very first time he proposed. If you rejected him, then how did things turn out like this? Because his great-uncle is one of the 3 great cultivators of the southern heavenly region, Wei Wunai. Han Li's expression immediately sank. Nangong Wan continued. The current great elder of the Yin Yue sect has never been on good terms with me. I do not know what Wei Wunai promised her, but she decided to force me to marry Wei Lishan. While I was using the samsara technique, she took the chance to restrain me. Then she spread word everywhere that I had agreed to become his dual cultivation partner. Utter madness, Han Li said coldly. If it were someone else, they would also find it hard to refuse. Wei Wunai promised to help the Yin Yue sect expand its influence, and he would also have Wei Lishan join the sect. It kills two birds with one stone. Only after hearing this did Han Li finally feel completely relieved. So from beginning to end, you never agreed to this marriage. Nangong Wan glanced at him. I still want to ask you something. You have formed your nascent soul for many years, so why did you not come to find me sooner? Han Li was immediately at a loss for words. Seeing this, Nangong Wan gently stepped closer. In truth, you and I are the same. We are both cultivators used to burying our emotions in order to keep our Tao hearts steady. Even if the other person has always been in our hearts, we still find it difficult to face those feelings. She gently took Han Li's hand. When I learned that you were still alive, I thought about it for 2 days and 2 nights. In the end, I decided to follow my heart and accept you. Warmth rose in Han Li's heart. He silently held her soft hand in return. Nangong Wan blushed and quickly pulled her hand back, gently scolding him. Enough. Let us talk about the serious matter. Han Li laughed. Since you look so calm, you must already have a plan to escape. That is right, Nangong Wan said with a mischievous smile. They have only placed me under house arrest and set a few restrictions on me. Those are not much of a problem. The only troublesome thing is the heart-entrapping technique cast by that senior martial sister. To remove it, we must destroy the command talisman controlling it. Where is the command talisman? In her hands. Han Li's lips curled slightly. Then it is simple. I will take it back for you. Nangong Wan shook her head. Do not act recklessly. She is a mid-nascent soul cultivator, and her strength is far above mine. We can simply leave. At worst, I will spend more than 10 years refining and removing the restriction. There is no need. A cold light flashed in Han Li's eyes. It is only a command talisman. I will retrieve it and settle this matter at the same time. Nangong Wan looked at him, and the corner of her lips unconsciously curved upward. For a moment it was as if she saw the young man from years ago again, still calm, confident, and always able to make others feel at ease. It is fine. Let us try first, Han Li said with a confident smile. If it truly does not work, it will not be too late to leave then. With me here, even if you are controlled by restrictions, I can still take you away safely. Nangong Wan looked at him for a while, then nodded gently. Very well. In that case, we do not need to take the initiative to seek out my senior martial sister. There are still a few hidden restrictions in this cave residence that have not been discovered. I can lure her here, then use the power of the formations to catch her by surprise. A good idea, Han Li said with a nod. I also brought a few sets of formation flags. They are not especially powerful, but they can still provide support. Hearing this, Nangong Wan's confidence increased a little more. She immediately sat down to recover her magic power, while Han Li began setting up formations throughout the main hall. Formation flags and formation plates were quietly placed in hidden corners, one after another. These formations had been refined when he was still at the core formation stage, so it would be difficult for them to threaten a nascent soul cultivator. However, they were still useful for support and surprise attacks. After finishing this, Han Li summoned Silvermoon. As soon as the little fox appeared, she smiled mischievously. Master, calling me out at a time like this, are you not afraid that Mistress Nangong will become jealous? Stop talking nonsense, Han Li said sternly. This time we have to deal with a mid-nascent soul cultivator. I need your help, and we absolutely cannot let the opponent escape. After saying this, he took out a treasure and handed it to Silvermoon. Silvermoon hugged the treasure in her arms, both surprised and delighted. You are really letting me use this? Only temporarily. In your hands it will be more effective. Silvermoon immediately turned into a streak of silver light and disappeared underground. After that, Han Li arranged another layer of gold-devouring beetles hidden on the ceiling of the main hall, leaving them as his final killing move. Once everything was ready, he sat down across from Nangong Wan, looking at the woman he had missed day and night as she calmly cultivated before him. Han Li could not help falling into a daze. But only a moment later, his gaze suddenly turned cold. His figure vanished from the chair. Outside the main hall, a shadowy figure who had been secretly watching was immediately startled. Han Li's calm voice rang out from behind her. What are you doing here? The girl in red Yue trembled. I was only worried about martial ancestor, so I came to take a look. Then why did you use a spirit concealment talisman? The girl's face instantly turned deathly pale. There is no need to explain. Come back inside with me and wait for your martial ancestor to deal with you. As soon as she heard this, she immediately crushed a talisman. Her body turned into a streak of yellow light as she tried to flee. But after escaping only a little over 10, Zhang, a cloud of pink fragrant mist suddenly sprayed out from the wall and covered her. Her escape light vanished. The girl staggered, then collapsed to the ground. Immediately afterwards, Silvermoon appeared from within the mist. With a graceful figure and a sly smile, she walked over to the girl. The first prey had fallen into the net. The Hall of the Setting Sun was the residence of the great elders of the Yin Yue sect throughout the generations. It was located near a spirit eye and was protected by layer upon layer of restrictions. Aside from a few elders, no one was allowed to approach it casually. At this moment, a streak of red light flew over from the distance. After circling a few times outside the restrictions, it easily passed through the protective layers and flew straight into a secret chamber. Inside the room, an exceptionally beautiful woman sat cross-legged on a meditation mat. Her skin was as white as snow, her expression cold, and a faint chill surrounded her body. As soon as the red light arrived before her, she opened her eyes and waved her hand. The light immediately turned into a small flame and landed in her palm. After reading the message inside, she frowned slightly. That girl suddenly wants to see me of her own accord. Has she finally decided to lower her head? The cold woman stood up. She turned into a streak of white light and left the Hall of the Setting Sun, flying straight toward Nangong Wan's cave residence. Not long after she arrived, seeing that the restrictions outside the cave residence were still normal, she felt reassured and walked inside. Behind the stone door, the girl in yellow was already waiting. She hurriedly bowed with respect. "Greetings, martial ancestor." The cold woman glanced at her. "Your cultivation has improved quite a bit. It seems the pills I gave you were useful." "Thank you for the pills, martial ancestor. Has junior martial sister Nangong done anything unusual today?" Number. Aside from meeting a disciple who came to deliver a gift, martial ancestor Nangong has done nothing else. Has that disciple left? He left half a day ago. He was only a low-ranking steward. But after receiving the gift, martial ancestor Nangong seemed displeased. What gift? A crude silver sword. The cold woman was slightly surprised, but she did not think too much about it. As she walked, she gave another instruction. "Continue watching junior martial sister. The spirit talisman I gave you is enough to deceive her while her magic power is sealed. Do well, and I will not treat you unfairly." Yes. The two quickly arrived outside the main hall. The woman had originally planned to observe the surroundings before entering, but Nangong Wan's calm voice sounded from inside. "Senior martial sister, come in. For the sake of the sect, I can reluctantly agree to what you want. But I have one condition, and you must promise me first." The senior martial sister was immediately delighted and walked in without hesitation. "Junior martial sister Nangong, it is wonderful that you have finally thought things through. As long as you agree to marry the elder of the Hua Yi sect, I will agree to any condition." But the moment she stepped into the main hall, she suddenly froze. Nangong Wan was sitting on a chair, holding a crude silver sword in her hand. Her expression was strangely calm. At that instant, the cold woman sensed that something was wrong. She suddenly waved her hand behind her. 5 sharp sword beams shot straight toward the girl in yellow. But the girl only raised her head and gave a strange smile. Yellow light flashed and her body shrank before merging directly into the stone wall. Only the yellow robe, now shredded by the sword beams, was left on the ground. "Senior martial sister, your reaction is truly fast." A calm male voice rang out. The cold woman immediately tried to retreat from the main hall, but just as she flew up, a giant azure sword came slashing down from outside the door. Her expression changed. Cold light shot out from her 10 fingers to block it. Boom! Azure light and white radiance collided violently. The giant sword split into more than 10 flying swords, circling around an ordinary-looking young man. It was Han Li. When the cold woman saw his cultivation, her pupils immediately narrowed. "Junior martial sister Nangong, who is this person? And who was the one pretending to be Yu Er?" As she spoke, she slapped her waist and took out a red command talisman. Han Li's gaze immediately fixed on the talisman. The controlling command talisman. The woman laughed coldly. Fellow Taoist, you had best not interfere in the internal affairs of the Yin Yue sect. Otherwise, you will face pursuit from all 6 sects. Nangong Wan stood up and calmly replied, Senior Martial Sister, there is no need to frighten us. If word gets out that you acted against a fellow disciple, there will be quite a few people among the 6 sects who oppose you. After saying this, she parted her lips and spat out a reddish-purple ring, her bonded magic treasure, the vermilion bird ring. Seeing that the two had no intention of backing down, the senior martial sister's expression darkened. With a wave of her sleeve, 2 flying swords, one white and one black, flew out. The white sword was as cold as ice and snow, releasing a bone-chilling aura. The black sword burned with dark, gloomy flames. They were a rare pair of yin-yang ice-fire swords. She tightly gripped the red command talisman and began chanting an incantation. A strange red light immediately flashed from the talisman. But Han Li had already been waiting. He raised his hand and a silver bell flew above his head, spinning in a whirl of silver light. A low ringing sound spread out, turning into layers of silver sound waves that swept straight toward the cold woman. At the same time, Han Li formed 2 hand seals, one azure and one red, and sent them into the 2 stone pillars nearby. With a loud boom, all the restrictions in the main hall activated at once. The trap had officially closed.